Hello, fellow gamers! Steam Next Fest is officially here, bringing with it an absolute tidal wave of free demos to play through. I've spent hours digging through the trenches to find the absolute best, most promising titles you need to download right now. Dungeon Settlers, a brilliant mashup of a colony sim and a gritty dungeon crawler. You lead an expedition into a barren, magically eroded land. On the surface, you build a settlement from scratch, designing rooms, farming, and managing resources to keep your people alive. But true survival forces you into a merciless, procedural dungeon. You will recruit a diverse crew with distinct traits, training them into a tight 4-person squad. Combat is real-time with pause, requiring sharp tactical positioning and strategic target switching. With permadeath, a single slip underground can ruin your settlement. It's a deeply addictive loop that fans of RimWorld and Darkest Dungeon will love. Furyball, Rogue Revenge. Imagine combining Lethal League with a gritty grindhouse pinball machine, and you get this absolute rush of adrenaline. Your only weapon here is a single bouncing bullet ball, turning every encounter into a high-stakes physics puzzle. You launch, deflect, and recall the ball at breakneck speeds to shatter waves of enemies across brutal, sport-themed arenas. The roguelite loop keeps things chaotic, with distinct power-ups that alter your ball's trajectory, speed, and destructive elements. It requires split-second reflexes and excellent spatial awareness as you manipulate the environment to keep your streaks alive. With its stylish, low-poly aesthetics and aggressive synth soundtrack, it feels like a lost 90s arcade gem. Hull Rupture, a grim, tense blend of base management and tower defense where morality goes out the window for the sake of survival. You are commanding humanity's last hope, a massive spaceship that can never stop moving. To keep the engines running and repel relentless alien boarding parties, you have to treat your human crew as just another expendable resource. The gameplay forces you into desperate situations. You will build defensive turrets, optimize power grids, and make brutal, utilitarian choices that always seemed reasonable at the time. It captures that suffocating sci-fi atmosphere where resources are perpetually scarce and a single breach can cause total disaster. If you love dark strategy roguelites with an unforgiving edge, don't overlook this one. Don't Kill Them All, an incredibly unique twist on the strategy genre that perfectly captures the volatile nature of orc folklore. Instead of commanding obedient soldiers, you are managing a rowdy, hot-headed horde where emotions are a literal game mechanic. One sudden orc outburst can instantly turn a flawless tactical victory into a complete disaster. Between brutal tactical battles, you will build up your base, but the real heart of the game lies in shaping your unit's personalities. You have to forge bonds between your orcs, managing their rivalries, and unlock their true potential. It balances tense, unpredictable grid-based combat with a surprisingly deep, character-driven management loop. It's chaotic, hilarious, and deeply strategic all at once. Dustfront is a love letter to classic RTS design infused with modern grand strategy elements. Set across bleak, lifeless battlefields, it offers a refreshing, non-linear campaign where your macro decisions on the map directly dictate your tactical skirmishes. The gameplay captures that gritty, old-school feel, allowing you to choose your doctrine. Overwhelm enemy lines with waves of cheap cannon fodder, or establish total dominance via devastating carpet bombing runs. Unit positioning, resource securing, and production queues feel impactful and rewarding. It perfectly channels the spirit of Command and Conquer while introducing a broader strategic layer that keeps every battle feeling purposeful. For RTS veterans craving a deeply atmospheric, no-nonsense tactical challenge, this is a must-play. Echoes of Mystralia. A stunning follow-up for fans of Mages of Mystralia, this game elevates its signature spellcrafting system into a fast-paced action RPG roguelite. The core loop revolves around an incredibly deep customization engine where you piece together magical runes to design your own custom spells on the fly. You can alter elements, trajectories, and triggers to create chaotic chain reactions. The combat is snappy and aggressive, demanding quick reflexes as you dodge through hordes of enemies and tackle massive, multi-stage bosses. Because it's a roguelite, every run offers new rune combinations and a shifting narrative structure that keeps the world feeling fresh. It's an absolute dream for players who love deep build theory crafting paired with tight, responsive action. Order of the Sinking Star, a monumental release for puzzle fans, marking the return of legendary director Jonathan Blow. Set in an enigmatic realm, it features over 1,000 handcrafted puzzles that challenge your perspective and spatial logic. What makes this iteration special is its 4 distinct magical worlds that eventually collide. You control unique heroes, like a bard who moves crystals with music, or a druid who transmutes objects. As these characters meet, their specific mechanics intertwine to create entirely new puzzle systems. It never relies on filler. Every solution sparks a genuine revelation. For anyone who loved The Witness, this massive masterpiece is a mandatory download. Slayblade. This feels like an incredibly stylized blend of classic Beyblade action mixed with the vibrant, rebellious energy of Jet Set Radio. You skate around a colorful, neon-drenched city, collecting over 60 customizable parts to build the ultimate spinning Slayblade. The roguelite progression shines as you merge distinct part powers together, discovering broken synergies to completely dominate opponents in street arenas. Winning gives you the cash and upgrades needed to climb the ranks, but the game throws a hilarious curveball with its campy narrative. If you die in the game, you die in real life. It balances its chill, satisfying customization with fast-paced physics combat and a killer aesthetic. The Kingsward, an absolute treat for fans of old-school PC gaming. This title blends the freedom of an open-world sandbox RPG with the snappy, satisfying feel of isometric action RPG combat. What makes it special is its incredibly flexible hybrid class system. Instead of being locked into a rigid archetype, you can freely mix and match abilities to engineer your own broken custom builds. The world itself is massive and highly reactive, driving an epic narrative packed with sharp, satirical humor that constantly pokes fun at classic fantasy tropes. You are cast out into this sprawling land on a quest to find the legendary Kingsward, and how you get there is entirely up to you. It captures that addictive, nostalgic, divine divinity energy while maintaining its own witty identity. Well Dweller, a captivating dark fairy tale Metroidvania that immediately pulls you in with its striking melancholic atmosphere. You play as Glimmer, an adorable tiny bird who is armed with nothing but a simple matchstick. Your mission is to navigate a wretched, decaying kingdom to find and burn the Wicked Queen in order to save your family. Despite the grim setting, the world is absolutely bursting with charming, memorable characters to interact with. The gameplay delivers tight, responsive platforming alongside clever, fire-based mechanics used for both environmental puzzle solving and combat. It balances the whimsical innocence of its tiny protagonist with the oppressive dread of its hand-drawn world. Dimraeth. Whether you choose to brave it alone or team up with up to 7 friends, this is a massive, incredibly charming fantasy RPG that feels like a classic tabletop campaign brought to life. Set in a gorgeous, handcrafted pixel art world, it offers incredible role-playing depth with 8 distinct races and 6 core classes to choose from, allowing you to tailor your hero exactly how you want. The gameplay shines with its strategic, elemental combat system where mixing magic types can trigger devastating reactions. Outside of battle, you are exploring ancient lands, forging relationships with a reactive cast of characters, and even building up a custom stronghold to call home. It masterfully balances cozy settlement elements with high-stakes adventure, making it an absolute joy to explore with a party. Arcane Eats, a brilliantly original roguelike deck builder that swaps out traditional swords and shields for knives and frying pans. In this game, your cards are ingredients, and your battlefield is a chaotic kitchen. You have to think like a master chef, carefully managing resources to chain together delicious strategic combos that can satisfy and subdue literal hordes of hungry monsters. Between runs, you will recruit a legendary kitchen crew, each bringing unique passive abilities and specialized flavor profiles to your deck as you work to rise through the ranks of the heroic cooking guilds. The overarching narrative adds a fun, tense layer of risk. You must master the culinary arts before an apocalyptic entity known as the Hunger consumes the world. It's a gorgeous, animated, deeply satisfying, and mechanically rich flavor explosion. As One, We Survive, a poignant survival game that flawlessly grounds its brutal, post-apocalyptic mechanics with a deeply personal story. You are cast into a harsh, unforgiving world where you must scavenge for scarce resources, build up a secure homestead, and manage a fragile community of fellow survivors. But what truly drives the game forward is its emotional core, a father's desperate, time-sensitive journey to find a cure for his sick daughter. This narrative urgency forces you to constantly weigh the needs of your camp against the safety of your family. Defending against lawless raiders and managing basic survival needs feels incredibly tense when every second counts. It's an atmospheric, gripping mix of base management and narrative-driven survival that really pulls at the heartstrings. Empire in Decay. This title delivers a brilliant tactical mashup, blending the progression of a roguelike deck builder with the grid-based, cerebral strategy of chess. You are tasked with sparking a rebellion against a tyrant king, fighting your way through the oppressive, moody districts of the city of Dandria. Instead of just playing spells from your hand, your cards represent unique units that you deploy onto a battlefield where positioning, movement rules, and piece sacrifice are everything. The synergy between upgrading your deck and leveling up your units is incredibly deep. Every encounter feels like a risky puzzle where one bad read can cost you an entire run. If you want a deck builder that actually forces you to think 3 moves ahead, this dark, revolutionary strategy game is well worth your time. Prelude Dark Pain, a gritty, grounded tactical RPG that replaces the typical Chosen One trope with the heavy-handed realism of a local blacksmith named Soren. Thrust into leadership, you must spark a desperate uprising against a tyrannical religious faction known as the Order of the Ashen Crusade. The combat is deeply tactical, emphasizing positioning, terrain advantages, and careful stamina management on grid-based battlefields. Because your protagonist is a blacksmith, the crafting and gear maintenance systems feel incredibly integrated into the gameplay loop, directly impacting how your ragtag rebel forces perform in battle. With its dark, oppressive atmosphere and a heavy focus on the grim realities of a war-torn world, it delivers a deeply satisfying challenge for strategy fans. Security 51, an incredibly tense, atmospheric thriller that takes the paperwork-checking puzzle format of Papers, Please and traps it inside a paranoid sci-fi nightmare. You play as a security officer stationed deep within the classified corridors of Area 51. Your daily job is to scan incoming staff, verify security clearances, and control who enters the facility elevators. However, the game quickly evolves into a psychological horror experience. The deeper you descend into the facility, the more the lines blur. Anomalies appear, government cover-ups bleed into the data, and you soon realize that the people standing before you might not even be human. It's an unsettling, claustrophobic loop where a single clerical error could unleash an extraterrestrial catastrophe. Shroom and Gloom, a clever and ambient twist on the card game genre that literally puts you face to face with your deck. Played from a moody, first-person perspective, Shroom and Gloom tasks you with exploring a damp, fungal underworld teeming with bizarre mushroom monstrosities. What makes it brilliantly unique is its double deck-building mechanic. Instead of just managing one hand, you are simultaneously balancing a deck used for exploration and resource gathering alongside a deck optimized for brutal card combat. This dual system lets you cultivate raw ingredients to grow entirely new, mutated cards on the fly, leading to absolutely massive mega combos. It is creepy and perfect for players looking for a fresh, eerie take on roguelike strategy. Void Diver, Escape from the Abyss, a brilliant mashup that seamlessly blends cozy shop management with extraction tension, all wrapped in a gorgeous, high-quality pixel art aesthetic. By day, you run Belusha, a quaint antique shop tucked away inside a deeply anomalous city. By night, you step up to the role of commander, sending specialized divers straight into the shifting dungeons of the Abyss. Your mission is simple, but terrifyingly difficult. Delve into the dark, scavenge for invaluable artifacts to sell in your shop, and make it back to the extraction point before the Abyss swallows you whole. The combat is snappy and intense, forcing you to square off against bizarre, otherworldly threats where a single misstep means losing your hard-earned loot. Thankfully, you don't have to face the dark alone, as you can team up with friends to coordinate your tactical dives. It is a fantastic loop of risk and reward that will keep you coming back for just one more run. DragonSword Awakening, a stunning anime-style open-world RPG that utilizes Unreal Engine 5 to deliver a visually breathtaking experience across the vast continent of Orbis. The game centers on a classic fantasy narrative. A legendary dragon has reawakened after a 60-year slumber, and it is up to you to assemble a team capable of stopping it. The real star of the show here is the combat system. Instead of standard turn-based battles or basic hack-and-slash action, it relies on a dynamic status ailment tag team mechanic. You recruit a diverse roster of unique companions and chain their specific elemental or status effects together, triggering spectacular combo attacks as you swap characters mid-battle. Combining gorgeous cinematic presentation with deep synergy, it offers a fresh and thrilling ride for open-world adventure fans. Dark Cards of Candlewood, a delightful single-player card game that perfectly captures the heart and nostalgia of a classic JRPG. Instead of complex, overwhelming boards, the gameplay relies on a deceptively deep, two-choice card combat system that keeps the pacing while still forcing you to think strategically. The progression loop is incredibly addictive. You embark on highly replayable dungeon runs where you constantly draft vital items to manage your limited backpack space, unlock powerful chain attacks, and even get the pure dopamine rush of cracking open digital card packs to expand your arsenal. It masterfully condenses the grand scale of a save the world from eternal darkness plot into a tight, satisfyingly tactical card battler that is perfect for short sessions or long marathons. Edge of Memories, a bleak and gripping dark fantasy RPG that plunges you into a desperate struggle for human survival. The world of Avaris is on the brink of total collapse, plagued by the Corrosion, a horrifying disease that twists the living into grotesque, unrecognizable abominations. You step into the boots of Eileen, a resilient young nomad who must rise to the occasion and unite a fractured world. The core gameplay revolves around leading fierce, tactical battles where coordination with your allies is paramount to overcoming overwhelming threats. It delivers a heavy atmosphere where every victory feels hard-earned, making it an excellent pick for players who love grim settings and intense squad combat. Echoes of Aincrad. A dream come true for fans of floor-clearing fantasy, this game transports you straight into the beautiful yet treacherous world of Aincrad from Sword Art Online. Capturing the tense, thrilling spirit of a fantasy survival MMORPG, the game emphasizes a world where every single battle could genuinely be your last. The core loop focuses heavily on deep personalization and cooperative synergy. You create your custom hero, handpick your gear, and level up to unlock powerful special abilities that continually expand your combat horizons. However, you aren't fighting alone. The combat system truly shines through building synergy with your partner, requiring precise coordination to execute devastating team attacks and survive the brutal boss encounters waiting on each floor. It is a sleek, nostalgic, and exhilarating ride for anyone who has ever wanted to conquer the castle. Mistfall Hunter, a grim, dark fantasy experience that seamlessly fuses the chaotic, loot-heavy combat of an action RPG with the intense tension of an extraction game. As a guild hunter, you are cast into a barren, mist-choked world where every excursion is a calculated gamble with your life. The build variety is incredibly deep, allowing you to fine-tune your specific class by mixing a vast array of unique skills, passive talents, and specialized gear to fit your exact playstyle. Whether you decide to brave the shadows as a solo mercenary or watch each other's backs in a coordinated team, the underlying rule never changes. The loot you find is only yours if you can survive long enough to extract. It's a brutal loop of risk, reward, and punishing combat that will leave you sweating until the very last second. Valor Mortis, an absolute powerhouse of a concept, blending historical drama with dark, supernatural horror. Developed by the masterminds behind Ghost Runner, you can instantly expect that same razor-sharp, adrenaline-fueled precision, but translated here into a punishing, first-person Souls-like format. You play as a resurrected soldier from Napoleon's Grand Army, thrust into a nightmare landscape where flintlocks and sabers clash against grotesque, horrifying monsters. Beyond traditional weaponry, you wield devastating supernatural abilities that elevate the fast-paced combat into something truly spectacular. As you slice through terrifying foes, you are also unraveling a massive, reality-threatening conspiracy that goes far deeper than the Napoleonic Wars. It is a brilliant, high-octane twist on the Souls-like genre that promises to be as visually stunning as it is brutally challenging. Onimusha Way of the Sword, a cinematic, blood-soaked return to a legendary universe that perfectly captures the grit and tension of classic samurai cinema. You step into the sandals of a warrior making a desperate stand in the historic streets of Kyoto, holding the line against a terrifying, encroaching army of Genma demons. Armed with the iconic, soul-absorbing Oni gauntlet, the gameplay focuses on heavy, deliberate, and deeply visceral melee brawls. Every slash of your blade carries real weight, and mastering the split-second timing of a deadly counterattack is the difference between survival and a grisly demise. Beyond the satisfyingly brutal action, the game anchors itself on a philosophical journey, following a weary warrior searching for a purpose amidst the chaos. It is an atmospheric, action-packed treat for anyone looking to slice through demons with style. And that's it for 25 game demos from Steam Next Fest that you can play right now. If you enjoyed this breakdown, make sure to smash that like button and subscribe to the channel so you never miss the latest gaming deep dives. Which of these games are you adding to your wishlist first? Let me know down in the comments below, and I'll catch you in the next video.